Hey guys, I wanted to do a video today to talk to you about Darwinism. Um, Darwinism is Charles Darwin's ideologies, his theories, his concepts. And I want to talk about one in particular. Because this one in particular it's extremely important, and it's extremely important because it's outdated, it's antiquated, yet it's still being taught as being the dominant theory in science. It's still being taught today, and it's been disproven for more than 40 years. And this lack of knowledge that we have is what leads us to pharmaceuticals and medical doctors and pharmacists, the legal drug dealers of the world. And it makes us very unhealthy in a lot of different ways. So I just want to take a moment and talk to you about Darwinism and how it's incorrect. The one aspect that I want to talk about is the theory that genes, our genes within our body control the life that we have. It's like, granddaddy got sick when he was 60 and died. And then daddy got sick when he was around 60 and he died. And now you're approaching 60. And it's like you think that genetically you're disposed to this. So it's probably going to happen to you and you'll get sick and you'll die. All right. And that's what Darwinism teaches as far as the gene theory goes, that you're a victim. You were born with genes that you can't control. So what the heck, forget it. There's nothing you can do about it. You were just born this way and it is what it is. And it's taught. And when I put it that way, it even sounds extra bad in my ears. But it's the truth. That's what they teach. And teaching Darwinism and teaching that genes control everything. Well, in the late 1960s, Dr. Bruce Lipton, he's a biologist, he was performing stem cell research. Okay, so for everyone that thinks this stem cell thing is new, it's not new. And what he did was he took one stem cell and he put it in a petri dish. And after about 10 hours, that stem cell doubled. And every 10 hours, it would double and double and double. And after a few days, he had, tens of thousands of stem cells in this one petri dish. And so what he did was he divided the cells into 3 petri dishes. All right, now keep in mind, they all came from one. All right, they all came from one stem cell. So they are exact duplicates of one another. He then put the 3 petri dishes into 3 different environments. In one environment, the stem cells grew muscle. In another environment, they grew bone. In a different environment, they grew fat cells. All right? What that taught us was that the cell's environment, or at least perception of the environment, is what caused the genes to do what they do. It was the perception of the environment, not the genes. The genes didn't control the thinking controlled the genes. Well, there was also another experiment by a Japanese scientist. And I do apologize for messing his name up like I'm about to, but I don't really speak Japanese that well. Masaru Emoto. What Dr. Emoto would do is he had a water test. He would take water from one source. He would divide that water into 3 sources or 4, however many test sources that he had. And then he would freeze the water. Now, before he would freeze the water, he would do different things to the water. Like he would expose this jar of water to frequencies at 432 hertz. 432 hertz is mathematically toned to match the vibration of the earth. Okay? And then he would expose different water to 440 hertz. 440 hertz is a tone that's been shown to dummy down the population, stifle creativity. Side note, Nazi Germany, the propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels, changed the scale of music for the anthem in Germany from 432 hertz to 440 hertz for that exact reason. They knew what 440 hertz did to the human brain. After that, the Rockefeller Foundation purchased 440 hertz and made the official scale for music. I know I went off course a little bit, but it's just interesting. And what he found when he would expose the water, freeze it, and then under a very complicated microscope, he would look at the crystals. When the water was exposed to something like, say, 432 hertz, then the crystals were geometrically beautiful. For 40 hertz, not so much. They were pretty ugly. Then he would do things like write, "I love you" on the jar. And on another jar, write, "I hate you." Same thing, freeze the water, pull out the crystals, look at them. And again, the "I love you" crystals looked better than the "I hate you" crystals. Keep in mind, the water all will come from the same source. And he would do things like intentions, right? We're writing intentions and just creating different environments and then looking at how the environments would affect the water. Positive environments always affected the water good. Negative environments always affected the water bad. What does this mean? It means that your body is about 70% water. Okay? If water can be controlled by intentions, by words, and by vibrations, that means you control your health through intentions, words, and vibrations, not genes. Dr. Lipton also performed experiments where he would remove the nucleus from a cell. Now, the nucleus is where the genes are housed in the cell. He would remove the nucleus from the cells, throw the nucleus away, and the genes would live, the cells would live for up to 2.5 months, still performing all the functions of a cell, respiration, eating, avoiding toxins, doing all of these things completely separate from the genes. The genes did not play a role in anything. And then we go to quantum physics and we look at the double slit experiment and we look at all of this data, which no science can argue with quantum physics, just can't be done. And all of this points to something that says genes do not control us. We control us. We control our health. We control everything about the reality that we live in is the reality that's inside of us. It has nothing to do with a gene or anything else. And this lie is just, like I said, they still teach this in school. If you just took biology in the last 10 years, you learned this. Last 20 years, you learned it. This year, this is what they taught you. And the data is completely wrong. It's completely wrong. And for whatever reasons, the powers that be that write the books and make the criteria for school have left out the truth and left in this outdated, antiquated, archaic way of looking at the human body, and it's just totally wrong. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. I hope you understood it. If not, leave me a comment and I'll try to explain it. Until next time, guys, I'm Coach Mike with Elite Performance. And remember, we want to see you happy and healthy.